Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Like I say, there's a lot going on today. I didn't want to do a formal live stream, and I really don't want to do any at all. But as you can see when you come on, hello everyone. As you come in, of course, I'm Roy Potter. This is an impromptu of the Potter Expositor, a quick upload. I named this Assange and Russia take the hit as I predicted. If you go back and you look at the video that I did, I don't know, 3 or 4. It's called Rosenstein and Assange. Go back and look at Rosenstein and Assange. I told you what was going to happen. It's not like I knew it because I'm so smart. It was just obvious from what's happening, and it turned out this morning in the Barr press conference that that's exactly what's happened. Basically, Assange and the Russians are going to take the hit on this. This will save Hillary's face. This will save a lot of people's face in the FBI and the DOJ, and the State Department, and the IC, which is what I was concerned about. So, at any rate, uh, it doesn't surprise me. I thought Barr would try to handle this in the best way he could to do the least amount of damage to the people in the upper echelons as he could, and it looks like it's headed that way. He really spent some time on the Russians hacking the DNC computers and then the stolen information, of course, without talking about what the stolen information actually said that nobody rebuffed. But that doesn't matter. As Alex Jones pointed out this morning, this supposed hack. I'm not saying the Barr is lying. I'm saying that he's not being complete at this point. Um, because the download speeds were too slow, according to many people, to have gotten the amount of information they did in a hack. It would have to have been done from the inside. But regardless of that, there are others that will argue that. The real point that I wanted to make here is that what I said was going to happen is apparently on its way right now. That Assange has been picked as the scapegoat for this. Uh, uh, also, Bart mentioned DC leaks in the conference this morning, as well as Guccifer 2. Well, we have a pretty good indication that Guccifer 2 is probably very likely CrowdStrike. So, again, this is to save the institutions, is what I'm afraid of, and unfortunately, in the long run, it leaves Trump still, even though he's been exonerated on the Russian thing and the obstruction of justice. It's left him wide open on being attacked by all of these people again, unless Barr proceeds forward. As he said, he knows there was spying on the Trump campaign. So I'm not saying he's done yet. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying he set it up so that, as Monty will call them, the light lords monograph, the light lords can get off, cover up their activities. And in Hillary's case, of course, the evidence is very strong to the contrary. So we're just going to have to watch Barr and what he's doing here. But it's like I said, he's out to save the institutions. I've got some notes here. Let me read some of these, and then I'll let you go. So I start off and I say, Barr did as I predicted. Blame it on Russia and Assange. This is uh, to cover for Hillary and Obama, and like I said, the senior, what officials he can save. He's not going to be able to save all of them. In the FBI, the DOJ, I'm surprised to see the Rod Rosensteins up there smiling with him. But people like Phil Mudd need to go down. Brennan, of course, Clapper, Comey, Strzok, McCabe, etc. We'll see where it goes. Okay, I'm still not certain that it will actually happen. But so what Barr has set up here is an out to give the benefit of the doubt to those who pulled this thing off, that they were really just concerned about Russian interference. They should still get in trouble for not telling Trump that he had these things going on in his campaign if they really believed it. They should still get in trouble for the unmasking, for the FISA warrants that were falsified, et cetera, et cetera. We'll see what happens in Barr's investigation. I also want to mention, and he's probably listening. My Republican insider called me up this morning and said, Roy, gee, all of us Trump supporters, we just accept Trump for his faults, because we know he's not perfect, but he's doing something that nobody else could do or was willing to do. So we're not cultic Kool-Aid drinkers. We just know that Trump's trying his best. Look, I've never disagreed with that. I've credited Trump with the things that he's done right, and I've called him on the things that I don't think he's done right. And I will continue to do that whether you like it or not. Do I support Trump? As I said, yes. When he does as what he said he was going to do in his campaign, and when he acts constitutionally. When he doesn't, I'm going to say something about it. And yes, so far it has been a slow-mo HRC in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways. If you watch me, you know why I say that. But if he's contrary to the Constitution or his promises, I'm sorry, I got to call him out on it. And at this point, like I said, I'm 50-50 on Trump. Is there anybody better? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that while I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, he better clean up his act, because a lot of people suffered a great deal because of him, to back him up. And he's not willing to stand up for the Constitution. This thing that he's done to Assange, I tweeted him out this morning. I tweeted a tweet out to him this morning. And I said, with what judgment you judge, you will be judged. And you don't have a right to use Assange's life the way you are. It's not your life to use the way you're using Assange now to patch this thing up. And it's really, he knows what's going on. Don't tell me he doesn't. Assange is a scapegoat, and this thing has been figured out from the start. And that's wrong. That's wrong. No matter how you cut it. Trump hasn't stood out there and helped his supporters. People admit that he wouldn't have been elected if it hadn't been for WikiLeaks, and for even the contrary media says this. Wouldn't have been elected if it hadn't been for WikiLeaks and Assange. And now he's turned on it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's serious. That's really serious. Now, the other possibility here is that everything that Mueller has accumulated over the last little while, and I don't know how legally this is going to work out with the special counsel, but most of it's fruit of the poisonous tree, because it all came from the situation with the Steele dossier, and even before that, when Admiral Rogers went in and said that there were those anomalies in the NSA that Obama and all those people in his administration were using to spy on all of us, not just the Trump campaign, and Admiral Rogers caught it. So there's a lot of dirt up there, and it needs to be cleaned out, and we'll see. Barr's got a big task if he even decides to go and do it. Okay, I want to make sure that you understand, again, that my critique of Trump is nothing like the mainstream media or Trump haters has done. Constantly give false accusations, false witness against him, nitpick him on personal life decisions, whatever. I don't do that. It's all to do with the promises he made and either fails to keep, or his violations of the Constitution. Okay? Those are the things that I find reprehensible at this point. And there might be a lot of excuses, my Republican insider friend, but we're not going to fix things if we keep down this road. So at any rate, I wanted to point out one of the things, of course, that everybody's been on him for. That's his supposed adultery. Who else? Who else besides me? Matter of fact, I was listening to True News yesterday. Somebody sent me a clip from them. They're a very Christian news organization. And they were calling him out for his adultery and all this stuff. And my Republican insider said, Roy, don't bring this up because it's something that people can't put their head around. Well, they better start, because this is one of the things I was talking about, which is why, I think God has withdrawn his protection for Western Christianity, because they haven't followed the law of the Torah and what Jesus was really about. They've twisted it. You may not want to hear this, but I'm going to say it, okay? As far as I can tell from all of the evidence that's available, Trump has never committed adultery. Not biblical adultery. The way that they interpret it now to try to control you, yes. But in the way that I understand biblical adultery, what it really means, Trump never did that as far as I can tell. And I won't go into any more details, but I've defended him on those things. So I'm not a never Trumper. I'm not out there to just, find fault with him anywhere I can. I want him to succeed. But if we don't hold his feet to the fire and demand that he do the right thing, What good are we? This thing with Assange is very troubling. Okay, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say. So we'll see what happens here. I'm afraid that Barr has set it up to where he's giving a lot of cover to a lot of people in the coup, including Hillary and Obama and a lot of the others. He's going to go after some people. There's no doubt that he will. I just don't know that it's going to be as many as everybody had hoped. Okay. All right. I don't want to take up a lot of time. There's a lot going on today, but I did want to cover that for you. Go back and look at my video that I put up, Assange and Rosenstein. It's only like 5 minutes long, and it looks like I nailed it on this one. It's going to go right down the way I thought. How high did he set the bar? Are you talking about Barr, Don? He said it. Basically, what he did was is he removed it because he says that he's blaming it all on Assange. He's saying that everybody did what they did because Assange and Russia really were the problem. They really did some of these things, and so therefore it's going to give an excuse for a lot of people in the deep state to back up what they did, whether it was illegal or not. That I think that's how it's going to go. So Hillary with the server thing, I don't know. She needs to go to jail for that. Um, Obama, yeah, but they're not going to get Obama. It's like I said, it's going to be a handful of people, maybe a half a dozen at the most, a dozen. It's not going to be widespread. They've got to save the institutions, and I told you that's what Barr was about. Okay, I got to go. Let's see what happens the rest of the day. The president's supposed to come on and give his response to what Barr did this morning and the Mueller report. To some extent, I don't think he'll go into any great detail. We're going to see this play out over the next few days. Let's all call on Barr to not let these coup plotters off, no matter if it goes from the former president of the United States, Obama, all the way down to a lowly FBI agent, whatever. He needs to go after these people. He needs to, and he's trying to fix it so that he's not going to do that. That's what's happening here. Okay. All right. Oh yeah. Oh, the media is going to. Val, that's a good point. I'm glad you said it. I'm not finding fault with Barr. Okay, just to do it to say he's covering for Trump or whitewashing. No, he's not. If anything, he's giving too many people cover on this thing. That's what's really happening, and it's not Trump that he's covering. Okay, the Democrats are just look, they're demons. They really are democrats, demon rats. I don't know how to say it actually. They really are. The leftist Marxists. This is what they do. Go look at the Frankfurt School. I mentioned it a couple of videos back. They're told about finding fault and critiquing everything to tear it down so that they can take control. It doesn't matter. They're about destroying things for the sake of destruction. In other words, if it isn't broke, fix it. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. Their motto is, if it's good, break it and then fix it again to your liking. That's what they do. They're horrible, horrible people. And so yeah, they are attacking Barr. They're saying he's a yes man for Trump. No, he isn't. Not for Trump. He is trying to protect the institutions though, and he is trying to keep this thing from taking out too many in the upper echelons and throughout the institutions. He is doing that. That's very, very obvious. All right, we'll talk about some more later. I really need a break. I'm going up in the hills or something. I got to get away from all this crap. Okay? All right. All right. See you later. Thanks so much.